Hello! My last video was about sexual selection and animal behavior, and this video is going to be about animal behavior once again, but with the handicap principle. So once again, you may learn something new, you may just get a review. Either way, here I go. One more thing, you'll also be learning about runaway selection. And as I promised in my other video, I don't promise a video of perfection, I just promise some fun learning. So, the handicap principle, let's go over that term. So the handicap usually means something that gives you a struggle, so something that would be giving you some difficulty, and that is usually related to a part of your body, mentally, physically, emotionally, and then a principle is something that we're looking at right now. So, the handicap principle, a really good example of that is the peacock. So, if you've seen a peacock, if you haven't, look it up, it's a pretty cool animal. It's got big feathers, the male, only the male, the female doesn't have this, big feathers, bright green, blue, purple feathers. And so the male uses these feathers to kind of shake around, do a little dance, and attract a female, and then the female will usually be impressed and want to mate with the male peacock. But we think of this as a handicap because the bird's kind of putting a target on its back because these big, vibrant feathers attract predators. And they're also making it really difficult for the bird to fly and get around because these feathers are huge and heavy. So a very risky appearance for this bird. And it can be a bit confusing why the bird would risk all of this, risk its life for a good flirt. Even Darwin was confused by this. So we kind of think of the bird's vibrant colors as it's handicapped. So, but don't worry, even though it is a risk, not all peacocks would be in such a strong risk or die, which of course not, because we see them, and there's some that are fit, and they have, you guessed it, good genes. So good genes cause these peacocks not to be killed, not to be harmed so that they cannot be successful in life. And we're not the only ones noticing that these peacocks have good genes and are able to survive these risky situations. The female peacocks, or peahens as they're called sometimes, they also notice this. They're like, wow, he's a peacock, he's got these pretty feathers, and what? Whoa, he's still alive. It's got to be a sign of good genes. So then she's like, well, if he's still alive and he's got good genes, I want my babies, my offspring, to have good genes. So females see that too as a sign. They're pretty smart with that. So that leads us into something else. This is called runaway selection, and really important, runaway selection only happens after the handicap principle. Like, they go together. They go together, but runaway selection cannot go before the handicap. It has to come after, and I'm about to explain what that is. So with runaway selection, as the female bird mates with the male bird, in continuation, keeps going, generations go. Then some beautiful, amazing evolutionary changes begin to occur within these generations. So let's say we have a bird, and its handicap is a beautiful long tail and bright colors on its tail. With runaway selection, the female sees that this bird is still alive. He's doing well. He's not in a super risky situation, even though it is a handicap for him. And she wants to mate and keep having those good genes. Well, as generations go along with the genes, the bird's tail actually gets longer. So longer and longer, and its colors get more and more vibrant and bright and very colorful. And so that's just an interesting thing to think about when we think of evolution, that you have your handicap principle, and then you have your runaway selection, and it just keeps going through the generations and always becoming more and more, even though it was already well off at the beginning. And two important people that we think of in animal behavior when we think of these topics. With runaway selection, we think of Ari Fisher. And with the handicap principle, we think of Amat Zahavi. So I hope you learned something new, and I will see you another time.